everyone, welcome back to Priyanka on Air. I'm your host Priyanka, and today we are diving into a topic that so many of you have asked about: how to get started with DevOps and the key skills and projects that make your resume stand out. Today we are joined by Niveditha, a DevOps engineer with real-world hands-on experience. She's here to break down what DevOps is really about, beyond just tools, and help us understand how to start from scratch, even if you're completely new to this field. In this episode, we will be discussing what DevOps actually means, where to begin if you have no background, the essential tools to learn first, what to include in your resume or projects, which certifications are worth it, the job marketplaces like Dubai, and how AI tools are being used in DevOps today. Whether you are just a student, fresher, a career switcher, or just DevOps curious, this episode will give you a clear and practical roadmap. Thank you so much, Nivedita, for joining us today. I think you're going to give us amazing insights today on DevOps. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Priyanka. I think I'll try to give all the details as much as I know. I think it will be useful.
It is going to be amazing. Okay, so let's start with addressing a very common misconception. A lot of people think DevOps is just knowing Jenkins and Docker. I want to know, in your words, what is DevOps and what do DevOps engineers really do?
Okay. Yes, Priyanka, I think you have already highlighted the misconception. Yes, DevOps is not just Jenkins or a Docker or any one or two tools. We have wide range of tools and number of tools in the market. At the same time, it doesn't mean you have to learn all the tools. You just have to know what you have to learn when it comes to the DevOps. Where as a DevOps engineer, you can categorize your learning into for example version control. You have a few number of tools: GitHub, GitLab. You can master in one. For the CI/CD, you have Jenkins, Argo CD, GitLab itself, so you can choose one and master in it. So each of the category of DevOps, you can pick one, master. That should be enough. At the same time, you have to keep upskilling.
Yeah, master at least one. Okay. If someone is a fresher or having zero DevOps background, maybe they're just a student or fresher or coming from, maybe, for example, I can see a lot of people are from support and testing moving to DevOps these days. Where should they begin? Like, where should they
I
start from?
I got you. I think it would be even everyone keep asking me the same thing. I think it's a good question. For them, I would recommend that they should start learning the basic first. If the fundamentals are right, then it is easy for them to learn and understand what is happening. First, SDLC lifecycle, they have to learn. In DevOps itself, they
Right.
can learn the Linux basic commands to start with. When it comes to the cloud, they can learn AWS or in Azure or any one of that. In the CI/CD, they can learn any of the there are tools. They can choose one and then start with it. So they just have to start and then understand what fits the SDLC cycle, and then which tools can bring the project into live, go live.
Yeah, I think that's really lovely. Clear steps, right? So you can learn all of these things, and also I'll link a roadmap with the notes. So let's talk tools. Like, you have already mentioned a lot of tools. Okay, which tools do you use the most in your day to day as a DevOps engineer?
So let me begin with version control. They can just start with maybe a GitHub. It is easy, and then they can just push their code, or if they are still stumbling upon, they can just download the available projects in the GitHub and then they can start with it. They can even GitLab has its own CI/CD. They can just learn one version control which contains the CI/CD as well. When it comes to the containerization, they can learn Docker. Then they can move to the Kubernetes. Like I mentioned earlier, cloud, they can go with anyone. Then monitoring, they can choose. There are Datadog, there are Grafana, they can choose one tools. And also it is important to learn about the security tools. Now it is no more DevOps, it's a DevSecOps. So
Yes,
they have to
that's right.
learn. So they have to learn that security aspect plays very important role in day to day.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think you have given all the answers, like with all the tools. Okay, that's perfect. But okay, I have one like very important question. Do certification help? Do they actually help people to get the job in DevOps?
To be frank with you, yes. At least in matter of the job filter. As I have seen a lot of job description, they have mentioned mandate certification. So I highly recommend anyone who has just started learning about DevOps, or even they are mid senior or senior level, to have their certifications in their resume, which is gonna help them. I can also suggest some of the certifications for them to begin with. As a beginner, they can just go with AWS Cloud Practitioner. They can
Yes.
learn, yeah, they can learn the Docker certified one.
Mm.
Then the next level can be a CKA, which is Kubernetes admin exam. They can just take it, and then I think they do this basic level, intermediate, and then the upper level. That is very valuable.
And also, are there like free certifications or Google or IBM certifications are helpful?
Google has the SRE runbook. They can just go through, and if they are more into a learning, they can
Mm.
just go with that, which is very useful. It is like very structured wise. They can learn
Mm.
about what like end to end DevOps life cycle.
Right.
Also, I would highlight one thing: when they are doing the certification, they have to
Mm.
make sure they do the practical.
Yeah.
Then there is no use of doing any certification. I
Yeah.
can learn and then I can forget the next day.
Right.
If they just do the practical, then it's the best thing to do for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's gold, which you have just told us. And also, I think, like you have mentioned, AWS certification, Docker, Kubernetes. I think that's enough if you want to learn more, or something like you can start a career with DevOps, right? Or just basic certifications. What AWS is the basic one?
So no, there are n number of tools like in DevOps. It's not like any other domain. In DevOps, you have as you have a wide range of tools. It's really hard to keep up
Right.
the pace with. You learn one, and after 2 years, that tool
Mm.
doesn't exist. So you have to know which is the right one. Also, I recommend if you really want to go as in free learning, I would recommend you just do in Udemy. There are few courses which is like 50 AD you will get 20 AD you will get a course. You can just learn. Even they have good practice exams as well. I
Right.
mean, you can just take that course and then complete it. If you just want to learning, I think best thing is YouTube as a free. You have a lot of channels subscribe. You can also find the official channels in the YouTube where you can learn. Also, I would highlight in GitHub, for example,
Right.
and you can, there are so many examples already available. You don't have to build application
Yeah.
to begin with. You just download the application which is already there. All you
Mm.
have to do is implement the DevOps into that, so it's really useful. If someone wants to do, for example, the cloud one, we
Mm.
did talk about the cloud practitioner, right? They can just take a free trial. There are free trial courses available in AWS or in Google as well. They have the free trial version. They don't have to build well advanced DevOps pipeline or on anything. They can just start with build a VM, create a load balancer, create a
Mm.
new network, and then just whatever you developed from the GitHub, just build that application and deploy. It's very useful. You don't need anyone to be guiding
Mm.
you if you just start with it.
And also, how much time do they need to learn these certifications? Like, for example, is there a time limit to learn the
No,
certification?
actually, if you can just spend 1 hour of your every day, that
Mhm.
should be enough. You don't need kind of read day, all day through something
Mm.
like that. So just read 1 hour every day. That should be sufficient along with your work. Let's say you're a developer, you want to switch to DevOps. You just start learning DevOps 1 hour. Just spend 1 hour. That should be enough.
Okay, how much time actually does it take to, get one certification, get good marks, something like that?
Actually, when it comes to the DevOps, whether I was talking about the Docker, I was talking about the AWS practitioner certification, these are all you can finish within a 2 months or a 3 months timeline, considering not like every day you're learning, just some time a bit of your work. If you spend and then do that, it should be
Mm.
enough.
I think that's perfect. So you don't need to learn everything in a month and then just start with your job.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Learn along with your day to day.
Yeah, I think that's amazing that you know that you have time to learn. Whenever you have time, you can learn it day by day. And then once you're done with your certifications, you can become a DevOps engineer.
Definitely. And also, if they are doing something, let's say as a developer and tester, I was telling, it would be easy for them because they can already implement for the day to day work they are doing. They can already create a Docker file and build their app, whatever they are doing, all of that. So it's really easy.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So let's talk about the projects. Okay. If there is a fresher or student, they want to get into DevOps, what kind of projects do they need to create in case they want to, highlight their profile to the HRs or the managers? Should they start with?
Okay, if you are a fresher or even with very minimum basic experience, let's say 1 or 2 years, you don't need to know everything in DevOps. All you
Right.
need to understand is the basics. So, to begin with, like I mentioned previously, you can just download the available DevOps project in GitHub, download them, build an app, and then deploy. This is enough. These are the practical projects you can mention in your resume, which will also be helpful because if I'm interviewing, I'll more focus on what you have written in the resume.
Right.
If
That's
that is more authentic, I'll try to ask as many questions which is there in that.
yeah,
So
right.
if you have put something and then not answering, then it would be not a good portray. So
Yeah.
I would recommend doing small projects on
Mhm.
your own, which is hands on, which is very useful. Don't just do the reading. I highly recommend, there are a lot of available resources I already mentioned. Just go through that and then try to put your hand dirty and then learn. That's how you can crack any interview, I would say.
I think that's really good advice. And also, just mention what you know. Don't mention everything because you think that DevOps engineers are doing this much and that much. But I think just mention the right things. And also, as you talked about the resume, okay, what should someone put on their DevOps resume if, for example, they don't have any experience yet?
The best thing they can do is, like I mentioned, AWS. They can just use a free trial version and then they can build an VM and then deploy that application. If they do just this simple thing and then mention in the resume, whoever is trying to look into your resume, they'll understand you already have a depth of that. You don't have to know complete cloud, all the services which are available. There are so many. But if you just mention the few aspect of it, the highlight of that, it would be enough.
Right. And honestly, I want to add a tip here. If you can talk confidently about what you have built, even if it's small, I think that impresses recruiters.
Exactly, that's a very valid point.
Okay, so let's also talk about job market in Dubai, right? If someone is a fresher and I get a lot of ping on LinkedIn that we want to get a job in Dubai, right? So how someone can start looking for the jobs in DevOps especially? Okay, how they can like start their career in Dubai? What tips you want to give regarding the job market in Dubai?
DevOps market, I would say I want to highlight one thing first. Job market, especially these days or from
Hmm.
past few years, it's always fluctuating. It is
Right.
never, it is very high. At the same moment, it can go down. So when it comes to the DevOps job market, not just DevOps, the job market itself keeps fluctuating.
Right.
It's never the same. So DevOps is still better, I would say, compared to other.
Hmm.
What you can do is, if you're a fresher and you want to get into this DevOps, is just do simple projects on your own and then highlight that in your resume and start searching. Apply through LinkedIn. Networking is very important when it comes to the job search. If they try to find openings and then try to reach out to all the network people, especially in Dubai, it all works most on their network. So try to get as much as network, try to attend the seminars there, try to attend, there will be an kind of in sessions which happens regularly. Try to keep update and then meet the people over there, so they have to just attend them, keep their resume, upskill themselves. Everything will add on and then they'll be able to just get into the job.
I think that's amazing. You have mentioned everything. And also, as Niveditha mentioned, please join the tech meetups because you meet a lot of people there. You can increase your network and you can talk to them. They might refer you in their companies. So keep increasing your network as well. Okay, so I want to ask also about the salaries. So if there is a fresher who's coming from India or just starting the career in Dubai also, what salary they can ask for? What is the starting point for the salary? How much they can ask for if they are a fresher?
I've been in Dubai for almost 7 years. One thing I understood about the salary bracket, it all depends on the company you're joining in. Okay, like yes, you should have a best skills. There is no doubt on that. At the end of the day, it is decided based on which company you are joining in. But if you really want me to give a bracket between that, I'll definitely give. But please make sure it is more on the company.
Right.
So to begin with, as a fresher, you can just go with 8K to 12K. Mid level, you can expect between 15 to 20,
Yeah.
and then senior level you can above 20. So I'll
Yeah.
not put because it is always keep changing, so above 20 is the senior level. So
Yeah.
this is a major differences or an examples I have seen. At the end of the day, it depends on the company.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It depends on the company, especially because I have seen in Dubai a lot of companies are giving a lower pay. It's like
I know.
six 6K, 10K, 12K, even for experienced people. And then I can see the companies who are paying much, much more than that. It's like too much. But again, as you mentioned, it depends on company to company.
That's
Okay.
totally.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So I want to talk about the AI and DevOps because everyone is working on AI these days. Are you seeing tools like ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot used at work?
Yes, definitely. I don't think we can work without that now. We have got used to it so much now
Mm.
because so AI specifically in terms of DevOps is really useful. I don't know about other, but I would say it's very adapting when you want to learn or do something. For example, you can get the code snippet using the GitHub Copilot you said. Even the ChatGPT. One key point about the DevOps, I think I did miss previously mentioning this, is a troubleshooting skill.
Yeah,
It
that's
is very much important. If you have that, you're already halfway there in the DevOps.
yeah.
Okay, so what helps with the AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini or
Hmm.
Copilot is they help you give direction. Maybe you, if without that you spend half a day, with that you can spend just 10 minutes, you will be able to resolve it. So I highly recommend AI tools.
Yeah, that's I think amazing.
I have used Claude, I have used ChatGPT, I have used Gemini, Copilot. These days I'm using Copilot. One reason is my company has restricted me to use only that. That's really good as well. But all what I understood is all AI tools are same. You just have to know
Hmm.
what to ask. Your
Yeah,
question asking that in a right way gonna help you. You can just say what is DevOps, but if you want to
yeah.
really learn about DevOps, if you frame the question right, you will get the right answer.
Yeah. Okay. And also use the AI as your sidekick, not your shortcut. Okay. Because I can
No,
see a
no,
lot of
yeah.
freshers, they are creating projects with AI. They don't know anything about it, but they're like, oh, we have built this. They are working, still working with AI and, doing a lot of other changes in the frameworks. They don't know what they have done because they're not learning the basics.
Yeah, you're totally right. One should understand the limitation of any of the
Yeah,
tool.
that's right.
That's a key point. They have to know how much they can answer today with the AI, but tomorrow
Right.
if I'm asking that intern who has joined the company or anyone about something
Mhm.
which is very crucial, you should know in depth of the knowledge, learn from it, don't just be dependent on it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay,
Yeah.
and also I want to know what are your top three tips for someone starting out in DevOps today?
First thing I would want to highlight is they have to make sure do the hands-on in any of the project or anything. Even if someone in your company gives something, do POC and then
Hmm.
try to see on your own. That will give you the confidence as well to go ahead, move ahead.
Hmm.
The second tip would be upskill. You have to keep up your skill, keep updating. I don't know about other domains, but when it comes to the DevOps, every day there are tools which are
Hmm.
coming up. You don't have to learn all the tools which comes in the market. You just have to upskill yourself. If you are only master, like in one of the tools or two of the tools, that's not enough, because that tool can be gone in 2 years or 3 years. So
Yeah.
people will forget. So you, otherwise, if you don't upskill, then you're doing something wrong to yourself. One more thing is learn from your peers, share your knowledge
Hmm.
with your teammates, and try to adapt the learning capability, even if it is a senior or a junior. Having that learning from each of the person gonna boost you in a career.
Yeah, I think that's right. I completely agree with you. Actually, I'll also want to add something. Learn one thing well, build with it, and then move to the next. Because a lot of people are trying to learn everything, but that's not how it works. Learn one thing and then move to the next thing. Okay. Also, Nivedita, I want to know one more thing. Are there any free resources that people can learn from? They don't have money to do the certification or they cannot pay. You have already mentioned that there is AWS a free trial. Udemy, you have also mentioned that it's like $50 and you can learn something from it. But apart from that, are there any free resources?
What they can do is like, I don't know whether I mentioned earlier or not. If they want to learn about sample end to end, what they can do as a free version is GitHub is free. In terms of DevOps, I would say there are so many open source tools.
Hmm.
Okay, you can pick each one of them, and you don't need big system to verify. Like you don't need something to work on these DevOps, especially because if you just have a laptop, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Internet, laptop, you're already there. You just have to figure out what you need to do. For example, I'll just give a one simple example for anyone who is a fresher who want to learn. Go to GitHub, download
Yeah.
the project already
Hmm.
available, write a Docker file, build an app, make it
Hmm.
containerized, deploy it in directly on the VM to start with,
Hmm.
or create a AWS free trial version VM, deploy in that VM. So you already have cloud plus yours and container. I think 60% of is already done.
Yeah.
So you don't need big tools to learn about the DevOps.
Hmm.
Everything is free. You just have to understand what you want to
Yeah.
do. First get that first POC kind of a thing. You can just
Hmm.
start with it.
Yeah.
Learning courses and everything is available.
I think that's amazing. Thank you so much, Nivedita, for the amazing insights. And thank you for joining us today. I think you dropped us so many gems that I know will help freshers and career switchers feel more confident and clear about DevOps.
But first, I want to say thanks to you for bringing this and trying to get the insight and helping others. That I appreciate a lot on this.
Thank you so much, Nivedita. I think people can outside learn more. They will get more clarity on what they are going to learn and how to learn, what tools to learn, and what certifications to do. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having the time as well with me.
And to everyone listening, thank you so much for spending your time with us here on Priyanka On Air. If you found this episode helpful, do me a favor. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also share it with a friend who is starting their tech journey. Thank you so much.